Alright, now you want to hit start? All right.
Oh, snap.
Sweet. Hello, everybody, and welcome to a very thrown together and guest-filled, newbie-filled edition of the WIU podcast.
Oh,
I
my.
am your returning host, Walker Ford, thus grandmaster of this podcast, amongst other things. Don't listen to my show from Fridays 6 to 8. It's pretty terrible. Who is this to the right of me?
To the right of you is Sam Owoc. Do you want me to tell you about myself a little bit?
Yeah, tell us a little about
Well,
yourself.
you know, I'm on IUP TV. I produce a show called Generation Gap. Check it out. It's kind of cool, I guess. It's all right, you know. I'd say it's okay because I'm in charge of it. So, yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm up to.
He's not part of the radio station, but when we found ourselves looking for a person, I ran down the hall and found him because I said, Sam's a great guy. We want Sam.
He really is, though.
Who's this?
Hi, my name's Cory Leitzel. I go by the alias DJ Vanderzai on WIUP-FM. I host the Wednesday morning mix from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., otherwise known as the Good Morning Vibes. You can also check out my Facebook page at facebook.com/Vanderzai. That's VANDRZYI. Just a short little plug for you all that don't know me on the podcast.
And this is the person that, if you're watching, Walker pointed to first, but then went to Sam instead.
Yes.
Cruel.
DJ Eric in the AM, formerly known as DJ Dixon Ticonderoga.
Which was a superior name.
It was a better name.
That is
I
an
do believe it
amazing
was.
name, though.
It's a great name. I DJ the Monday morning mix from 8 to 10 a.m. What else do I do here? Like Sam, I am on IUP TV. I am the executive producer and kind of point audio person for Schizophrenia. And what else do I do? I'm also currently designing and engineering the sound for IUP Theater Department's production of The Spelling Bee.
I'm surrounded by very talented people. So amongst the topics we have today, it's kind of scattered and thrown about. I don't know what you have, but is it happy?
Happy? I guess. I mean,
Wait, not to cut you off.
you know, you're good. You're good.
You had Batman versus Superman, didn't you?
Yeah. So for those of you that didn't know, while we were planning this out, we had a lot of more depressing topics, and I just kind of threw out the idea. Well, Batman versus Superman's coming out, and I'm not in my usual attire, you see, because I have at least 8 Superman shirts in my room as a part of my repertoire, and I'm a huge Superman fan. I loved Man of Steel when it came out in 2013, and the new film's coming out. And I'd actually like to hear the rest of the table's opinion on what they've seen of the movie so
Wow.
far before we get to mine.
We'll come back to me before we get back to him because
Oh, okay.
I'm super excited.
Yeah.
Everyone is looking at me right now.
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
ahead,
let's go
Eric.
there.
Eric,
Yeah.
you go first. Yeah.
Well, I kind of don't watch a lot of movies in general. Not because I don't like them, just because for some reason I never get around to watching very many movies at all. I've seen, of all these superhero movies coming out, I've seen, I think, 2. That's all I have to say about that, to quote Forrest Gump. I don't really know anything about them.
They're
Yeah.
pretty much all the same thing. A couple superheroes fight.
Yeah,
Superhero
it's-
stuff happens.
I do know that Spider-Man is in it, and I remember hearing that, like,
Spider-Man's in Batman vs. Superman? Wait a minute.
No, I'm thinking
Civil
about
War.
Civil
No,
War.
Civil War.
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
case in point right there.
It's all right.
That's all I'm gonna say about that now.
Let's just say that 2016 is definitely the year that superheroes just can't seem to get along.
Yeah.
Eric is just like, I heard Spider-Man was in it. I think there's Spider-Man. That's pretty much all you need. That's pretty much the only
I saw the
important
trailer.
thing.
I know what movie we're talking about now. I saw the trailer, and Batman looks like a Batman cyborg.
He
does.
Yeah, like,
looks
why-
buff.
why
His
is
armored
his-
suit.
Why is his suit robotic, and why does
So
he
you can
have?
He's
fight
fighting
Superman.
Superman. That's
Okay,
exactly.
Allow
exactly.
me to nerd out for
All right,
a moment. to
go
elaborate.
right ahead,
Uh-oh.
please do.
Batman v Superman, for those of you that don't know, is based off of a comic written by a gentleman named Frank Miller. The comic is entitled The Dark Knight Returns. It's the story about Bruce Wayne essentially just growing insanely old, and it's the DC universe as they know it, just kind of accelerated several years. So, for example, the Joker's in an insane asylum. He's been reformed. Bruce Wayne is old and cynical, and Superman is still like young and chipper and doing his thing, but he actually works for the government. In the story, Superman basically tracks down Bruce Wayne because Bruce Wayne's decided to like take up the Batman mantle again, but he's causing trouble. And Batman's like, no, I can't have this Boy Scout running around messing up my gig. It's time to like break out the real guns. He designs a super suit essentially composed of Kryptonian metal and kryptonite, like as a mixture, sort of, kind of like how you ionize metal and stuff like that. He does that, makes a big freaking suit, and kicks the living crap out of Superman with it. Granted, he gets a couple of cheap pot shots here and there, but that's just me talking. Point being is that's what the movie's based on, and that's what that suit design is actually based on, is that original mech suit.
And it's Wonder Woman who is in Batman versus Superman.
Not Spider-Man.
And
I'm just
Doomsday.
realizing there is another person who's not in the title but is in the movie.
Who's in there?
Spider-Man.
Played by Gal Gadot, by the way. Grrr. She
Which-
is
Yeah, right.
excellent.
We'll get to me. What do you think?
You see, I'm excited for it. I saw some of Man of Steel, so I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Zack Snyder's. All right, 300 was just I don't know. There's a lot of just it was extremely manly. That's what it was, and it was just like it was just too much stuff going. Like
Machismo.
yeah, exactly.
I didn't see 300, but I saw the sequel to 300.
Oh,
Yeah,
boy.
it's kind of. I didn't see the
sorry.
sequel.
How about Watchmen?
Watchmen is good. I enjoyed. See, that's the one Zack Snyder's film I do enjoy actually. Watchmen was very well put together. 300 is all right, and then Man of Steel. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of what's his name? Kevin Costner. I am a fan, but I'm not a fan.
No,
it's
not Kevin
different.
Costner.
No, Kevin Costner was his dad in Man of Steel.
Wait, what?
Yep.
Yeah,
He was John Kent.
John Kent. Yeah,
Oh.
and so like, I don't know. So this is gonna be a little tangent. So Kevin Costner, I just don't buy him as like an action hero. So I'm glad he didn't play some kind of like a Superman-esque role. Like I'm glad he
Superman's
didn't
a
do that.
middle-aged man.
I'm glad he
who came
wasn't
out of space.
Gladiator. Who's the Gladiator? Why am I? I'm spacing on names right now. You know who I'm talking about though? Russell Crowe. I'm glad he didn't play Russell Crowe's part as
Jor-El.
Jor-El. Yeah. But I'm excited for this movie. I'm very excited. I enjoy Ben Affleck minus Pearl Harbor and that movie that he made with Justin Timberlake. But I enjoy Ben Affleck. I think he's a good actor, and I think I don't know. I'm pretty excited. This and plus with Civil War coming out within the next month, I think, isn't
With
it?
Spider-Man.
With Spider-Man. With Spider-Man.
Spooderman.
And Wonder Woman in this film. I think the DC Marvel rivalry is now coming to film, and I love it.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I think it's gonna be great.
I
Both of them.
like people were like pissing their pants for Avengers to come out. I'm like wiggling in my seat for Justice League to come out.
I remember
League
hearing
was
about. I remember hearing about the Avengers thing happening. That was like a solid 4 or 5 years before that. Maybe even 6. I think.
I think they announced it like in 2008.
I
something
think
like that.
that sounds. I think I remember. I was in middle school or beginning high school when it came out. Or no, when it came when it first announced when they first started talking about it.
The teaser trailer was literally the Avengers logo spinning in aberrant space with Samuel L. Jackson's voiceover, and that got people talking about it. That's
Honestly,
all
though,
it was.
No, I mean,
was
I-
all it needed to be. By that point,
exactly.
we'd already seen like Iron Man and all this stuff. So we'd seen all these characters done well enough on their own. And so it was like, it did this thing perfectly where it builds up all these characters like, this is going to be awesome. All these characters that are like seen together.
Yeah,
with
it's
the
very-
exception
it's-
of the Hulk because it's not Edward Norton anymore. So it's
Yeah.
like, what are we
But
going
Mark
to do?
Ruffalo still. Mark Ruffalo.
He was better than Edward Norton. I liked Edward Norton.
I think
but-
Mark Ruffalo fits the
just kept
Bruce
thinking,
Banner
this is the
type.
guy from Fight Club.
Yeah.
How different would that be if he shows up and
as the Hulk?
Mark
Oh,
Ruffalo
man.
was a little better.
Yeah.
That said, I enjoyed the Avengers when it came out. I thought it was really fun. Thought it
Yeah.
was a lot better than the second one.
Yeah.
The second one was not nearly as good.
I mean, I'm not. I did see. All right, so when earlier I said that I only saw 2 of these superhero movies. Those 2 were, Iron Man and the Avengers.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's just not my thing. I'm just not super into these superhero films and all the comics and all that stuff. Just never got into it. But I do think it's very, very exciting that they're able to kind of not mass produce, but make these movies. I guess film technology and CGI is able to bring the crazy vividness of the comics to life.
Yeah.
God.
Artistically,
And-
it's very interesting.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah. So I think it is cool that they're kind of finally able to make them, because some of the older ones, I saw.
Oh my gosh, some of the older
I saw
ones are
the old Iron
awful.
Man. He looks.
He's like a He's like a
It's a-
cardboard
yeah.
box.
And
That's
a
what it
bucket
looks
on
like.
his head.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
That's what
exactly.
it
Or
is.
the
Looks like
old
somebody
Hulk.
from Minecraft.
Yeah.
Thing.
But I do think it's I mean, the fans must be every summer every year there's something.
It's a new.
Yeah, I think it's very exciting and cool that they're able to make bring these things to life and also have them all interconnected too, and kind of do the comic books justice.
Well, I just love what Disney's
Justice
doing.
League.
Justice.
But Disney, so we're gonna go. Disney would be they have Marvel and then they have Star Wars, and I love the direction that they're taking both of those franchises in.
Yeah.
I mean, they're like you said, like the special effects on those superhero movies to bring it from the comic book to to real life, on the big screen is just amazing. And to see that with Star Wars Episode 7, that was fantastic. Like it was.
Looked
I mean,
great.
the
It just
Sounded
looked
great.
good.
yeah, the prequels were. We'll talk about those another day, but the prequels are the prequels, and this was up there with I think the originals in my opinion.
Yeah, I think 7 was. Honestly, I didn't love 7. I wasn't. Some people were like on Facebook like, best Star Wars movie. It was this and that. I was like, it was very good. It was
a good Star Wars movie,
Yeah.
which is something we haven't seen for
And-
like 30 years.
Oh, exactly.
And
Yeah.
in all honesty, you take what you can get
Oh,
in
exactly.
anything.
And
Yeah.
like I liked it. And like Daisy Ridley was good.
Yeah.
I already liked John Boyega.
John Boyega.
John Boyega was
Yeah.
awesome. And
Oscar
Attack
Isaac.
the Block.
Oscar Isaac. Man Candy Monday.
Poe Dameron, or like hot Dameron.
The Kylo Ren actor, I think his name is Adam Savage or
Yeah.
something like that.
No,
Not Adam
or
Savage.
Adam Driver.
Adam Driver. That
Adam
was
Savage is a completely different person.
And Ben
Gotcha.
Savage's brother.
But I feel so bad for him because literally as I was leaving the theater, my friends just kept complaining like, "Oh my God, Kylo Ren was such a bigger pussy than I imagined him being." I'm like, "Are you kidding
no.
me?"
The thing with
that happened.
the thing with the thing with no, what I like, it's a very interesting approach to a villain that they're taking with Kylo Ren because he's developing as the heroes are developing.
Yeah,
he's
they can go any direction with him.
it's
Kylo
a very
Ren
yeah
is what Anakin Skywalker should have been.
exactly.
Yes, thank you.
Where they got like that like kind of wimpy and like complaining sort of vibe in there, but at the same time he's also like really powerful.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Whereas just like the prequels are just like Anakin.
I
Like,
hate sand.
I hate
it's
sand.
coarse and it gets everywhere.
it's everywhere.
You are not sand, therefore I like you
Also-
because you're not sand.
Because you're not.
Also, plot twist: Kylo Ren's played by a good actor. Oh, shots fired.
Oh.
Hey, it wasn't Hayden Christensen's fault. It was the script.
The
It was-
writing.
Yeah, it was the
Only
best
Ewan,
writing. bad
only
direction.
Ewan McGregor managed to salvage anything for now.
Ewan McGregor
Even
is-
Samuel
Jackson.
Jackson had like very I don't know some of the I rewatched most of the prequels.
He was just happy to be in a Star Wars.
Oh God,
Yeah,
yeah.
Liam
he
Neeson
got
did
his
well.
he got his purple
Hey,
lightsaber.
Liam Neeson did well.
He did.
I
He did,
liked
yeah.
him. Frank Oz. he did good with Yoda's puppet in the
He was
episode one.
replaced in episode and before
they
episode
replaced
one
him with
eventually
CGI.
with CGI
George
one, yeah.
Lucas, I'm looking at you.
It looked so bad compared to the original one, though.
Oh, God,
It was
yeah.
like
It did. Yeah.
it looks like they took the same puppet. It was just in a closet, and they're like, "Oh, Yoda's in it. Here it is."
Here it is now.
No, I think they had a different puppet for episode 1, but they were gonna have the puppet in
was
episode 2,
bad.
but it melted into storage.
Oh, really?
Reading- Like that's why we have a CGI Yoda because they melted it, and George Lucas was like,
It's probably the preferable
CGI
alternative
can
to that
fix this.
puppet.
CGI
only
can fix anything.
The only thing that I'm okay with having a CGI Yoda was all those kick flips and stuff that he was able to do.
No, I
as
hate
this
that.
tiny little
I hate the
midget green
fighting.
man.
No. All right, listen, the fighting Yoda. All right, you're either like an old, like
like-
wise Jedi or whatever. Like, never.
It's like
It's dumb.
It's like
It looks
Madame,
stu-
it's
it
like
looks
Madame
stupid.
Gao in Daredevil. There's that
Oh.
one moment where she like punches him, but she's still like old and decrepit. She didn't like do kick flips. She just has that much power and that little movement. But Yoda's, it's like, whoa, what is he doing? Is he
Yeah.
actually? Are they sword fighting or are they just dancing?
Yeah.
I can't tell.
I think it looks pretty dumb.
Yeah,
That-
they
it
look
looks stupid.
really dumb.
It looks
That
yeah.
is-
They
that-
got it better in the newest one, where
Yeah.
they actually felt like they were hitting swords again.
Oh,
Yeah.
it
in
felt-
episode 3, you mean, or
seven.
Episode 7.
I thought we were still
that
talking
fight-
about Yoda.
No.
That fight in episode 7, it was. I think that it might be one of the better fights that they've ever shown in Star Wars because it was there. You can tell because Kylo Ren has never been tested by another Jedi, and so his fighting style has best been practicing with other people, and. Yeah, the orb, or when he slaughtered all those children,
Oh,
and
boy.
when Luke tried to take back over. But then Rey, she never used a lightsaber, so the
But she
fighting
had
was so
the-
raw. It was so but,
But
she
that's
had the
still
rod-
different. One
but
is like just a long metal stick. The
But
other
she
is
had like a little bit of combat
Well,
training.
yeah,
and
no, a little bit of
I mean,
experience.
so did Kylo Ren. But
But,
what we're saying is that
But he
they're
didn't have
the
experience
fighting-
very
fighting other
different.
people.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
fighting was so raw and it was so great. That's what I loved about it. That they didn't try to get flashy like they did in Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
They went with it, and it looked like two kids that didn't know what they're doing half the time and just kind of
Like, there
going
was
at
a lot. I think it had to have been a lot of the sound. Too.
Yeah.
Just like
Oh
there was
my
a lot
gosh.
more force to it.
it. It was so good.
Force.
It had this idea like, and that's actually kind of the weird thing about the Star Wars mythos that you kind of got to look back at. Granted, it was not nearly as well done in the prequels as it should have been, But in terms of the sword fighting, like you guys mentioned, it seemed like a lot more choreographed in the prequels
Elegant.
than anything else.
It's elegant, yeah.
It's because, like, from a story standpoint, I feel like it's because the Jedi Order is actually like in place.
Yeah,
Therefore,
yeah.
like everyone's trained in this very unique style of combat. Whereas, like,
Well, they
obviously
all had
Sith
different
have their own-
combat forms.
Yeah, there were many
Like,
different ones.
The Clone Wars series did it a lot better. I think.
Yeah.
I honestly think restriction, like in what they have in terms of what they can do, makes for better sword battles. Because in Clone Wars, like they're animating it, they don't really have the time to go and like do like some super
stuff,
crazy
yeah.
like Studio Ghibli like quality animations. So they got to restrict themselves a little bit. They were all better than anything in all of the prequels. Which the Clone Wars series was just awesome too.
Clone Wars series was amazing.
It was pretty great.
Amazing.
Well, like seasons like 3 and to the end.
Yeah.
The Clone Wars series took what Episode 3 had and just made everything great. So, for example, General Grievous.
Yeah,
Like,
like
Grievous-
Anakin.
awesome
Episode 3
villain.
is good. Like
Episode 3 was
a good standalone.
was
good
acceptable.
standalone.
It was
Yeah.
an acceptable movie,
I think
which
it's good.
compared
I
to
like
the
it.
other two was like miles above.
Oh, God,
it
yeah.
was.
It was a
way
pretty
better
fun,
than 1 or
like
2.
science action movie. It's still kind of a bummer that it was a Star Wars movie, but
Yeah.
what are you gonna do?
It's true. Yeah, but I mean, I liked episode 1 minus too much Jar Jar, a little too much Jar. The fact about too much Jar Jar is that he was
There's
in
the
there.
pod racing scene.
The
That
pod
was, like,
racing
the best
scene.
scene in the movie.
is pod race.
Did anyone else ever
this is
play
pod
the
racing.
Nintendo 64 pod racing
Don't even
racing
bring that
game?
up.
Are you kidding me?
Nick has it. It's
That
I've
game
played
is
it.
amazing.
Of course,
It's
Nick
not
has.
amazing.
That
It's
is
really
nostalgia
hard.
bait
It's
right there.
difficult. Nostalgia's not always a good thing.
What did you guys like? Did you guys like the fight between Darth Maul, Qui-Gon, and Obi-Wan?
The
I
last
do.
time I watched it, I did. What I
like
really
it.
liked was
when I was 10 and I watched it for the first time.
Yeah.
And then I remembered like Darth Maul's not cool until he came back in Clone Wars, and it's like, oh, there's an actual character there.
Yeah.
And he got like robot legs.
That's true. He was
Yeah.
that fight between him and Obi-Wan in the Clone Wars was spot
Wait, so
on.
he comes.
Legit.
So he comes back after
Yeah,
1.
so he
Spoiler alert.
survived, and we kind of like went crazy down there in the like the bottom of the pit or
Yeah,
something.
and then
Yeah.
Darth
He
Sidious
fell
like, tried
so
killing
far.
him, and then it's
Yeah.
the Force, man. The
Think
Force.
of how many
Force.
deaths that like people in the Star Wars series have survived through dumb means. Like Luke Skywalker in Empire Strikes Back, he fell down that entire shaft and
It-
should have like fallen through the
So
clouds.
it
Anakin got
sounds
burnt
like-
by lava the
Yeah.
entire way
it
through.
sounds
Wait,
like
he has a life support system suit, but yeah,
he shouldn't have survived that long for Palpatine
it sounds
to
like
get
a
him.
cop out answer, but really all those are just answered by the Force.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
true.
Because like the Force is like kind of physically bringing all these people together. Like
Yeah.
there's a reason that Finn met Rey. Like the Force is like a constant presence doing things.
Yeah.
Which I
Yeah.
feel like they kind of brought that back more in the new one than they did in
Yeah.
the other ones.
What are
It was just kind of all
midichlorians?
willy nilly.
Midichlorians.
Midichlorians.
The prequel. Oh, the
With the
prequels.
razor.
Like, there's so many things. If you watch the prequels, there's so many things about them that are just you're just like, yes, George, you're going in the right direction. And then he does something to screw it all up.
Then he's like,
It's like, too far. And then it comes back. And you're like, yes, this is good. This is very good. And then
It's
takes
just
it-
a whole lot of yes, 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 no.
Oh no. See, now what I'm waiting for is when 7, 8, and 9 finish production, then like 20 some years later, somehow Michael Bay on life support's like, I'm coming out with a new movie. Star Wars
Well,
episode
he won't
1.
need to because there'll be
Don't
a
hate
new
me
Star
here.
Wars film every year until everyone is dead.
Don't hate me here, but I would really like to see a Michael Bay Star Wars movie.
That
Oh my
would
gosh.
be so dumb, but amazing. To
Did you see his new movie? Did you see it? I haven't seen it.
What was it?
13 Hours
No.
with John
It
Krasinski.
looked a
It
little,
looked better than his other ones. I mean,
It did.
I mean, I think I counted like 15 explosions in the one trailer, but
looked
it's a
very
Michael Bay
Michael
film.
Bay.
I saw the first 2 Transformers, and that's all that I know of Michael Bay.
The first one was
the first one was pretty all
was
right.
good.
Oh,
and then,
yeah, the
that was
first
an
one was
acceptable
great.
movie.
and then the second and third,
second-
and then the fourth one was just.
The third almost
still haven't seen the
redeemed
fourth.
it,
I haven't
but
seen
then
it
Isn't there a
either.
fifth now?
they're making a
It's
fifth.
in it's in
It's in
Who
production
is seeing this?
China.
Like everyone I talk
It's
to.
China.
Michael Bay is paying tickets for nobody
He
just to go
buys
see.
for their tickets in.
Yeah, he just makes it seem like there's a lot of people that actually want to see this, when in reality nobody does.
No, no one cares.
Nobody cares about
I'm
Transformers
pretty sure
anymore.
I could. Yeah. So Transformers 4 is the #1 film in Chinese history. It's China
Oh my
that keeps
China.
watching Transformers.
It's China.
China.
China, please stop.
China.
all right.
We beg of you.
We went way far off. I want to get back to Batman.
Oh, yeah.
no.
Oh, that's right.
Okay.
See, that's what I was hoping in the back of my mind. I'm like, okay, we can take this conversation as far away from comic books as possible.
All right. This is
Oh,
my
no.
time. I was not excited for Batman versus Superman.
Uh-huh.
I wasn't excited for Man versus Steel either, or Man versus
Man
Steel.
versus Steel.
Man of
Man
Steel.
versus Steel.
It looks kind of like This makes for a really good trailer, and I don't ever need to see this movie.
It's Man
I don't-
versus Food's brother.
Yeah.
He's a construction worker. Sorry, I'll stop.
Andrew Zimmern versus Guy Fieri. Dawn of snacking.
No, Dawn of Diabetes. You kidding me?
Diabetes.
Battle of
Featuring
Dawn
Wilford
of
Brimley.
Diabetes of Justice.
Yes.
I don't like Zack Snyder. Never liked Zack Snyder. I always thought that everything he's made was really not that great. Like I could
But
see how
Watchmen.
someone could like it.
Watchmen was
But
good.
like
That was
just
the only one, though.
visually,
Yeah.
I'm really like just off put by everything he does. It just looks wrong.
Fake. It looks fake. It looks
Yeah.
too fake for a movie. If that
But
too
not
fake for
like-
a comic book movie.
not like Speed Racer fake, more like
Avatar fake, I'd say.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah.
James Cameron's Avatar or the one
James
that we
Cameron.
don't? Okay.
Doesn't matter.
I go with James Cameron.
Except one
M.
is
Night
like
Shyamalan.
a technical feat and the other one is not.
One's a technical feat, the other one's an abomination. It makes me sad inside.
With no light.
Let's
There's
not
no lighting.
even open that can of worms.
M. Night Shyamalan. Sorry.
I don't know. I'm excited for new Avatar. Avatar 2.
Oh,
Doesn't
yeah,
matter.
yeah, that
Doesn't
one.
matter. Zack
I feel
Snyder.
like no one
don't like
remembers
Zack Snyder.
what it is though. That came out in what 2009.
9.
It was
Save
cool.
the trees.
all right.
Save the tree people.
Wait, no,
They're
when the
indigenous
second Avatar
people.
comes out, there won't be an environment.
It's
to say-
underwater.
Yeah.
The next one's underwater.
I didn't know that. I
Oh,
didn't know
God.
that.
That's
I
why he has the
swear.
submarine.
It'll
right?
be like a BP oil spill PSA nonsense.
No.
It's like
all right. Superman.
Oh,
we
gosh.
can't do this again.
Superman.
Yeah.
Superman, Batman versus Superman. Wasn't excited for Batman versus Steel. Still haven't watched it. I watched like the fight scenes on YouTube, and I'm like, yeah, that looks like Zack Snyder, but Superman's in it. And then like the end, he's just like, that's just how it ends, and I'm like, that was really disappointing. I didn't even watch the rest of the movie, and I'm disappointed by that ending
Well, I mean, how can you be disappointed by an ending if you haven't seen all
because
of
it was
the movie?
that was a trash scene. Like that, I could tell that was a penultimate like moment in the movie, and then it's just like, oh my gosh, why didn't you just do it? Was such a like a pathetic and like, am I allowed to get into spoilers here?
Yeah, go ahead.
Where he just kills General Zod by snapping his neck like within
Spoilers.
seconds.
See, now that scene was actually explained by both Zack Snyder and Christopher Nolan, who were writing the movie at the time.
Here, let me say this.
Yes.
If you as a director have to explain
gonna say the same
something
thing,
in your
yeah.
movie, then you did something wrong.
I
some
agree with
extent.
Walker. Yeah.
Valid
It's
point.
supposed to there's this thing in movies where you understand what happens. You're typically supposed to do that. If you have to go back and like explain why you did something, chances are you didn't do it very well.
Yeah.
That
no.
said, still didn't see Man of Steel. Don't ever want to see Man of Steel. Saw all I needed to see from it.
I didn't see this movie. I hate it.
Go die in a hole.
Batman versus Superman. Trailers started coming out. I'm like, I really want to be. I really want to be excited. Then the one with Doomsday came out, and I'm like,
Yeah, that's
well, now I'm done. I'm officially out. And then the next one came out, and I'm like, all right. Batman looks cool. I'm really digging Ben Affleck as Batman here.
Oh yeah.
I'm a little bit back in,
Yeah.
but only if it's good. Only if it comes out, the reviews start coming out, and it's good. I'm looking at Rotten Tomatoes right now. It's sitting at 37%.
That's bizarre because I read other reviews from like first night premiere and they were
Yeah,
exceedingly
I saw that
positive.
too, but then I also saw how reviews now have been going down. I try not to go by reviews too much because I mean it's somebody's opinion. I mean that's what
Yeah.
it is. And
It
so
is.
I mean if I'm interested I'll go see it, but like if I'm not then I won't. But I'll end up seeing this movie.
But typically, I'll like follow like the aggregate sites like that because
Yeah.
it gives me a good idea of like
kind of what to go
did
into.
more people like it than dislike it. And right now, there's more rotten. There's 62 rotten and 37 fresh.
Eee.
That's usually that's past my ratio of whether or not I want to see a movie, especially if I already wasn't all that excited about it.
No, that's true. Yeah. What's like Civil War? When's that come out?
Like another month, I think.
Another month. I think Marvel will do no wrong with this. I don't know what you guys think about
I haven't
this.
heard.
Okay.
I haven't heard of any of these superhero movies being like bad.
Yeah,
I honestly haven't. I haven't heard one
Yeah,
that was like,
see,
oh, that
that's
one
the
was
problem though.
yeah.
They're not bad. They're just it's starting
They're
to get like
manufactured. It's a
I've
formula.
watched this,
You kind
like,
of know what to expect.
I saw
It's
Ant-Man.
It's a superhero.
I
Like,
saw
was-
Ant-Man and I'm like, oh man, it's Iron Man, but with Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
Ant-Man was
Okay.
fun. Ant-Man was fun.
Ant-Man was a
fun.
great
Okay.
fun. Tiny rant here. Number one, like Ant-Man was a great movie on its own. It was one of those Marvel movies where it's like, holy crap, it can actually stand on its own. It doesn't need to be interconnected to like 50 other movies and timelines and stuff like that.
But it wasn't.
Here's
it
my
was
Here's my
Okay.
problem with Marvel movies right now.
Yeah.
It's because everyone's willing to accept every single mistake that Marvel's going to make with any property that they have, regardless of the repercussions, regardless of the quality of the film. For example, Spider-Man. Why in the heck are we remaking Spider-Man for the third time in a row? Yes, I understand licenses. Yes,
Within
I understand
15
legal
years, yeah.
properties. But Marvel is owned by goddamn Disney right now. Are you kidding me?
Well,
Like,
no.
Disney can
not
buy
really.
any property that they want.
Yeah, so it does. Marvel doesn't own all the film rights to their.
Not all the film rights, but I'm saying like they have to have some kind of backing. Like they managed to like get Spider-Man. They managed to from Sony, who has a pretty strong grip on like X-Men and stuff like that.
Like here's what I'm gonna say.
No,
Here's
Fox,
what I'm gonna say
Fox
about
is X-Men. X-Men's with
that.
Fox.
Fox is X-Men.
oh, really?
Fox
Yeah.
Entertainment.
Oh, I
Yeah,
thought it
so
was
Spider-Man.
Deadpool and
Sony
stuff.
is they only had Spider-Man with that,
Oh, that's
and they
right.
were getting
You're-
no revenue from it.
Complaining that we have to start Spider-Man over again.
For a third time.
They're not doing
in,
an
like,
origin
yeah.
though, are they?
Like 15
No,
years.
Yeah, they're not
picking
doing-
up. But why? It's just incredible as it is that we actually have Spider-Man in the Avengers.
Especially with all the history between Sony and Marvel battling, because with the rights, it's with like same with Fox in X-Men. Isn't Marvel like discontinuing the comics for X-Men for now until because they're like, well, it's not we can't make money off the movie,
Yeah.
so we're not going to make the comics anymore.
Yeah.
And so then we saw the colossal flop that Fantastic
Four
Four
was.
was.
I feel
That
so
was-
bad for the people involved in that movie. I really do.
I do too. Like I like
Like
and, Miles Teller. I like him.
Yeah.
And was it my
Josh Trank.
no
Guy who directed, right? Didn't he direct
who
it?
played
Human Torch?
Human Torch? Was that Michael B. Anthony?
Oh, someone's here.
Something like that.
Yes.
got-
But
Get
yes.
a guest.
So yeah. But-
Surprise guests. Just
Mosey on by. We're filming a podcast.
nah, we're
It's
Yeah,
all right.
that's-
It's all right. Go
almost
I think
ahead.
this is a good opportunity.
You're good.
I have to head out.
yeah.
I
All
need
right, we're almost
the-
done.
You're good.
Batman vs Superman. Yeah, thumbs up or down? Okay.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs
I hear
up.
thumbs up.
I will say thumbs up only because I trust Zack Snyder to at least make an entertaining film regardless of the ending. I saw the Doomsday trailer and I thought the exact same thing as you. I was on this boat until they brought in a CGI monster that isn't even living up to the original character. If you guys know who Doomsday is in Superman comics, he is
No.
literally the only villain that's been able to kill Superman ever.
But now Batman's gonna kill him, or Wonder Woman, or something.
But now they're saying like, oh, Doomsday's just
Aquaman.
gonna be this like CGI monster that Lex Luthor makes up in a lab. No, he's like an alien from like billions of light years away, and he like there's a completely intricate story with Doomsday. But now they're just like CGI monster, give them something to fight. It's like, couldn't the movie have stood on its own with just Batman and Superman duking it out for like 2 hours?
I'm
I would
gonna
have been
assume-
fine with that.
I'm gonna assume that's a thumbs up. I don't know.
Oh yeah, thumbs
Hey,
up for me.
I'm just saying it can't be worse than Green Lantern.
It will not be. Yeah, no worse than Green Lantern, no worse than Fantastic Four.
Good. You haven't seen it yet.
I don't think Green Lantern is pretty bad.
It was pretty bad.
pretty bad. I don't think
Yeah.
it would be that bad.
As a DC fan, I've been very sad for the past couple of years.
Well,
I mean,
Ryan Reynolds is now back as Deadpool, so that's
yes, God,
All is right
Yes,
with the
definitely
world.
is. Deadpool was cool. Deadpool needs to be in every comic book thing. And I'm
Every
not
movie.
excited. I was like hesitant on the fence. Definitely not now.
Yeah.
Just as you said, you trust Zack Snyder to make an entertaining movie. I trust Zack Snyder to make a movie that I'm not going to enjoy. And all that I've seen from the trailers so far is just reinforcing the fact that I'm pretty sure Zack Snyder's trash at making movies. Like everything he makes is garbage, and this is just proving it. So
We'll find out.
We will,
We'll find
though.
out.
I'll probably do the same thing I did with Man of Steel and never watch it.
And watch
just
the
watch,
ending.
Watch
the
the
ending
fight
and
scenes
some
on
fight
YouTube.
scenes.
Yeah.
And then be disappointed by the ending after I didn't even watch the movie. All right. Eric, what is our time on the clock there?
Our time is 28 minutes and 35
We got
seconds.
2
That
minutes.
was pretty
One and a
close.
half.
I think we did pretty all right.
We did.
Oh,
Before
yeah.
we get off, do you want to say a couple words?
A couple words. I don't have much to say other than thank you very much for having me on.
I meant
I enjoyed
about
it.
Keith Emerson.
Well, Keith, oh yeah, that was gonna be the thing that I was gonna bring to the table. I don't know. Rest in peace, Keith Emerson. I think he was by far, like no contest, the greatest keyboardist to have played the genre of rock music. ELP was an absolutely fascinating band. Steve, he thinks
yes, they are.
he thinks
fascinating.
they're like the craziest, weirdest band ever. He was just everything that you would want in a rock keyboardist with regards to like playing virtuosity and songwriting and composing skills, and on stage theatrics. He'd do things like he'd jump onto a Hammond organ, rock it back and forth, and shove knives into it.
It's just as crazy as you think it is.
It is. It's nuts. He was always drinking on stage too. There's a lot of video of him with a bottle of something. And what else? There's
water.
Yeah, it was water.
For our young viewers.
And then there this in '74 they did this famous thing where he had a grand piano on stage that he was playing during a keyboard solo, and then it would suddenly just like lift up and spin around like upside down, just flip around while he's still playing. Just
because.
for no other reason, because he was able to. So yeah, rest in peace, Keith Emerson. It's unfortunate that you did what you did, or that he did what he did. But he had nerve issues with his hands.
Ooh.
And apparently, this came about after the fact, but his girlfriend said that he'd already had depression or whatever before, and that made it worse, that he was still doing tours, but like kind of wasn't able to do nearly as much. Yeah. And I guess some of the people on the internet were saying like, oh, he should just gotta retire. He's not able to whatever as much anymore. And I guess a huge part of it was he's not able to like live up to the legend that he was and deliver to the fans. I don't know. That was the thing that I was gonna talk about.
We're gonna miss.
And I did.
We lost talent.
You did.
Really good. Yeah. And Fife Dog from Tribe Called Quest died. Found that out this morning.
Yeah.
Jeez.
That was the first thing I saw when I woke up. I was legitimately disappointed by that.
Wow.
My mother loves Tribe Called Quest, and I recall Tribe Called Quest being around as I was a child growing up. And I wish I'd listened to them more than I did. Yeah. And I just recently started getting like really back into it again. As soon as I did, he died.
Same with Frank Sinatra Jr. He passed away about a week ago, I think.
Wow.
So yeah, a lot of people. This year has not been good for
2016 is not off to a good start.
Yeah,
no.
just people dying all the time,
left and right. Yeah.
2016 is an awful year.
Rest in peace, Alan Rickman, by the way.
Yeah.
In case that's not.
We're gonna be here forever, and we're gonna be really sad if we say RIP to everyone who's died already this year. All right, we're done. Thank you for tuning into the WIU podcast. Tune in next week for maybe another episode. There will be 2 episodes out this week because I still haven't edited the one from last week due to technical issues.